Hello there. And hello, everybody, and welcome to our first session of our new Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Where first, our adventure is but a simple tavern, where we have an orc behind the counter, to a red-headed warrior. Who goes, this orc asks this warrior. What's got you down, Dumpson? What's got you down, Dumpson? Drinking up my ale.
I mean, honestly, Gorbog, what wouldn't have me drinking? You know me at this point. But, cause you, Walloping Slayer, come back and join me. I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to do about this cult. Stick the sun.
Well, you look. I can't let you have Slayer back. You could go ask the lovely lass out on the porch who seems to be a little bit dead to the world.
Helly, I'm sorry, but why is Gorbag?
I don't know. I have not practiced this man. So fight me. Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Let's start this over with Gorbag because I have noise. Anyways. All right, darling. What's got you down in the dust this time?
There's a cult. They want to get rid of the sun. Don't have it. They don't. Since they hook up. You won't Slayer come back during gig. I'm on here.
He smiles at you.
She down another entire pint.
He just pours another. He literally just puts a full glass in front of you and says, "Well, you and I both know why Slayer's in timeout. But if you have to deal, you said this cult was way up north.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly where, but in general, it's Dale area. I don't know. Trying to get rid of the sun. It's a bad thing. I'm supposed to do bad things.
Well, I have good news and bad. The good news is I do know someone that's heading up north. She's an adventurer. She's an adventurer. She doesn't have a party anymore. It's the whole thing. Anyways, she might be willing to take you there. She's headed there right now. She just stops in my bar for a nice tart and some tea, and occasionally drinks me out of my most expensive wine.
A woman after my own heart.
Oh, I think you'll get along swimmingly. She's right out on the back patio. You see those doors right through there. I'm gonna go make a couple cocktails for these people who've been waiting. No offense, I love you, darling. I have a job to do.
Yeah, can't keep you. I also have a job to do.
And he sets a picture veil down in front of you as he walks away.
Wait, which doors am I looking for?
To the...
This way. Okay. Alright. Grab the picture veil and take her. I'm gonna work my way over this way. So, shimmy my way around tables here.
Through the doors, right over here.
Two big doors.
It's telling me this way.
Right here.
There.
I like to imagine it's
where's
not
the door? Open the door. It's gonna sidle up to this table here. And as the seat
you see sitting at a corner table with a teapot, a single tea glass, and a very large book, a relatively short human woman with blue-gray hair and a huge blue wizard's hat and a really nice little blue dress with frills and stuff, and she kind of looks up at you from under her hat. She looks exhausted. Like, this looks like the most tired person you've ever met in your life, but she also is keeping it together. And she just goes, I mean, sure, I guess. And just kind of like looks back down at her book.
Nessa's just got what she assumes is a charming smile, but is really like trying too hard. It's obviously trying too hard, but she thinks she's being charming. And she's gonna sit down and sit there awkwardly for probably at least 2 minutes.
After about a minute and a half, Celeste just sighs, closes her book, and turns to you, takes a sip from her tea, and says, "What can I help you with?" Oh,
so,
my manners. My manners. I'm Celesta, the dragon's breath. And she just very like just dainty like puts her hand out for you.
And Nessa's going to grab Celeste's hand in the heartiest shake because she doesn't know how to deal with when she finds pretty.
After like she literally reaches up and like holds her hat in place as you're like shaking her, and she's like, and just kind of like lets go and kind of like readjusts a little bit and is like, okay.
Agnes Beaumont, Beaucurst, I'm a paladin. Yeah, I heard from the barkeep you're going up to Icewind.
Gorbak. Yes, I am going to Icewind Dale, and I take it you want to come with me.
If you wouldn't mind me tagging along, I just have a quest, mission, whatever you call it. Yeah.
A quest mission? Like...
Yeah, stopping an evil cult of Drows from destroying the sun. No big deal or anything.
Helly, have I heard of this? Anything of this?
I would say that you haven't heard about a group of cults trying to destroy the sun, but you... yeah, that's all you know about this based on the information that was given. And so, yes, Daly is still sticking with Nessa.
Yep, no. Nessa's got to have her character development arc.
So, at this point, like, for the first time, she kind of looks at you. Like, before she's kind of been looking kind of past you, but for the first time, she, like, her eyes focus on you, and she looks you from your head to your toe, and you feel like you're being examined like someone would examine a particularly interesting lizard. And she kind of looks you up and down.
She's still decked out in her... Because Nessa's still decked out in her full brain part. She's decked out in her full chainmail with her sword.
Aren't you in half plate now?
Half plate.
No, still chainmail. No,
you should be in half plate.
The half plate didn't do anything different. So I'm still in chainmail.
Do you want plate mail? Because we were trying to upgrade your armor, so...
Well, we'll sort that out later.
Yeah, later. Anyways, I kind of like look you up and down, and then just very slightly smile, and then lean my head on one of my hands and kind of slouch a bit in my seat. I see. A paladin on a quest to save the world, and you're heading my direction.
Yes, that is exactly what I said.
I'll give you points for originality, but that's not the best pickup line I've heard this year.
Wait, why are we talking about pickup lines? I am literally
Oh wait, you're serious. Here. You're serious.
I'm absolutely 100% serious. I lost all the rest of my party. They're all retired, and I'm the only one left to stop this freaking cult.
She looks at you completely incredulous and goes... She kind of like leans back a bit as you like like, okay. To the little, is he small, or like how big did we?
He's
kind of like leans through the door and is staring directly at you through the mask.
Yeah, like how Slayer was when we first met him.
a tankard in one hand and a hand drawn on a sword on a sheath, a hand on a sword and a sheath in the other.
Do I recognize what this creature is?
Roll Arcana.
Alright. Let me roll Arcana. I am using my jingle dice, my hollows. That's a straight 18. I don't get any bonus to Arcana.
Alright, with an 18, I would say that while you may not be 100% familiar with it because it's not something you've seen, you can definitely tell that it is a magical creation.
Oh, like something an artificer would put together.
No, someone much more annoying. This is Sebastian. Sebastian, this is Nessa. Don't worry about him, he doesn't speak. He's not
He's
sure
cute,
if he knows
reminds me of
how.
broccoli.
He just keeps glaring at Nessa. Just
Sebastian, she's harmless. She's a paladin. I imagine he clenches his sword tighter.
Yep. Still holding the tankard like it's going to drink, but just doesn't actually move the tankard.
Nessa's going to lift her own tankard, like in like kind of a salute sort of hello, and go back to sipping it.
It still just sits there watching you menacingly.
He's like literally like through like a half-open door.
Yep.
Maybe not like that.
Don't mind him. He's not entirely intelligent. He's here to keep me safe, apparently.
I mean, more power to him, I guess.
He's mostly harmless unless you hurt me, in which case...
My intent is not to hurt you. I don't hurt pretty women.
Celeste like blinks
Celeste's
and like
face goes like bright red when she realizes what she said.
Celeste kind of blinks and like her smile like twitches, and then she kind of like tilts her head down so her hat like hides her face and like sips from her tea.
And Nessa downs the rest of her tankard.
Please roll me a con save.
That's number 2.
That's
Roll
the third one since you walked in here.
Yep.
No, I think it's only the second.
No,
Wait,
because you said that was your. You said that was your second one. The first one of the session was the second one. You said was the second one you've had. So that's 3. Roll me a con save.
She dropped her dice.
That does not
He
surprise
dropped
me.
it on a 19 though, so I'm counting that as a roll.
Okay.
So wait, 19 plus my con, which gives me a 25.
Okay, good. Sorry, I was rolling my dice to see which ones were decent, and only 2 of them failed the vibe check.
That's fair.
Mine never failed vibe checks because they make this sound.
It's very
I don't know if you guys
high-pitched
caught
over
any of that.
Discord.
Probably. They tinkle! They're great.
All right. So after going bright red and drinking your 3rd tankard, what are you doing next, AOA?
I imagine there's probably another minute of awkward silence here.
Definitely like a full minute and a half to 2 minutes of awkward silence here. And then Celeste says, "Do you have any cold weather clothing?"
No.
You should get some. It's very cold up north.
I'm pretty sure I could probably handle. I mean, how cold can it really get?
You know what? This should be interesting. I will be leaving tomorrow morning. Meet me
Alright,
here.
cool. Right here. Okay. We'll meet here tomorrow morning. Fantastic.
At
I'm
that
just
point-
gonna. Ness is now gonna pick up her tankard, pick up the pitcher, to go back inside.
Sebastian stares at you the entire direct, all the way back to the bar.
I'm gonna go all the way to the bar.
Up. How did you ping again?
Say that. Right click to hold, or
Hold,
left click and hold.
left click.
Hold left click. Up this way are the rooms in the tavern.
Oh yeah, I imagine I probably would have gotten a room.
Just as an
But
FYI.
I figured though, for like the rest of the evening before it was fire, I'm just gonna be sitting here at the bar, sipping at my ale.
Still getting glared at from across the tavern.
At about sundown, I go up to my room. Yeah, sorry, it did something weird. There we go. Yeah, and Sebastian, as soon as I walk through the door, is like directly at my right shoulder the entire way, glaring at anyone that I walk past. I'm at just like this door. Yeah, that one.
That's right.
Our rooms are also right across from each other, because that's what Gorbok would do.
By the time that the tavern is completely empty, that's when Nessa finally gives up and actually gets to bed.
So last call, when Gorbok says go
Last
to bed.
call. Basically.
Alright. I'm gonna need it.
Okay.
I'm gonna need
what room is it? This one?
That
This
one.
one probably?
Yep.
This one? Alright.
I'm
I
gonna.
also imagine she puts it all on Slayer's tab, and Gorbok nods approvingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gonna need a hefty con save from you here after drinking till last call.
That is 17.
17
Includes
plus all
everything.
plus everything else,
No,
or
including-
17
No,
base?
that's 17 plus that's including everything.
Okay, you're fine.
Final calculation. Yeah.
I like to imagine you're fine, but you're a little wobbly while you walk, because no matter how solid you are, you're still a little drunk.
I'm definitely drunk, but I'm not shit-faced drunk.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna be feeling it in the morning.
You're more sober than the ones that Gorbok literally grabs by the shoulders and forces out of his bar. At last call.
You're gonna be feeling your hangover for about 2 hours when you wake up.
Not
And
a little
at
late
dawn-
humans can't fix.
At dawn, exactly 4 hours after you go to sleep, there is a very loud and sharp knock on your door.
Dunk, 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 dunk.
Next, it takes a couple of moments just to sit up. Glanced down at herself. She at least took off her chainmail. Somehow, she doesn't remember taking off the chainmail, but she is just in her underclothes.
Helly, the The amount of restraint it is taking me not to fireball this door off is amazing.
She makes sure her hair is sitting okay. She runs her hands through her hair and she opens the door.
You see a witch that without the hat and boots would be very short compared to you, but with the hat, she's exactly 2 inches taller than you.
Well, the hat is 2 inches taller. Her eye level is still short.
Oh yeah, her eye level is at like your neck right now. And she is glaring up at you, hands on either of her hips, and said, "I thought we agreed to leave in the morning."
The sun isn't even over the mountain yet.
There's like a small ray of sun slowly
One
entering the hallway on the floor. And she points to it and she said, "That came through my window 10 minutes ago."
I like the idea
5
that
minutes, we'll be ready.
I like the idea that your friend still has that tankard in his hand.
Yep, still has the tankard. The ale is very stale right now.
Yep. Still at the same amount as last night, as yesterday.
Yep. Completely full.
Just give me like 5 minutes, and I'll be ready to go.
Fine.
And she
ready.
winces a little bit because her head is like
breakfast.
killing right now.
Fine, get ready. I'll go get breakfast. So at this point,
I'll
it's just going to be me getting breakfast for Nessa, and then us leaving, and it's very quiet breakfast.
Very upset.
With Sebastian almost leaving the tavern with the tankard before I order him to put the tankard on the bar and leave.
Oh, I would have 100% just had him keep carrying that tankard through the entirety of the campaign.
Oh yeah. We'll get you another one. Come on, just put it back.
Nessa's sitting here getting ready though, and she's like grumbling to herself, like, it's wake up. What's up at this early even hour? What?
I woke up an hour ago.
She's pulling on the chain. She's pulling on the chainmail. She's making sure everything's packed, and she realizes, oh wait, I still have a bottle of my parents' brandy in here.
While still being hungover.
Oh yeah.
While still being hungover.
You got 3 hours of sleep. You are hungover. This is rough.
I can please hit. It takes five points to heal poison, right?
Yeah.
Including alcohol. All right, I'm using lay on hands.
Poison is poison.
Yeah.
I'm using lay on hands. I'm proving that alcohol poisoning. I'm nullifying my hangover.
I love the idea of you just like you go back in your room and you just like, rub your temples and there's like a light that comes from your fingers like, oh, that's better.
No, I've gotten all ready and I'm literally rubbing at my temple with one hand as I'm walking out, just using my hands. Take it a deep sigh. A deep breath. So much better.
The breakfast is silent, but it's delicious. Gorbok's not here, but Tim is. Tim's the morning guy. He works the mornings from last call to the late breakfast time. It's pretty good. He makes good breakfast sandwiches.
Beautiful. I love the dead silence as we eat. It's kind of funny.
I'm reading my book through the entire meal.
Nessa's gonna kind of like lean, try to like get it, like see what the book is, if there's like a title on the spine or a cover.
There's no title, and the cover is just it's a blue leather-bound, like hardbound leather-bound book with a gold inlaid magical sigil on the front page of it, but there's no title, there's nothing else on the outside of the book. If you want to see in it, I'm gonna contest it. I will do a sleight of hand.
No, I'm just kidding. No. No, I mean at this point she's probably holding her book up to the point where all I can see is the cover, and that's what I imagine. So I'd actually have to like get up and look behind her.
You wouldn't be able to do that. That's why her hat's so big.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's just. I am literally hiding behind my book this entire meal, and just reaching out for one of the little breakfast sandwiches and like taking a bite and then reading my book and occasionally peeking at you between my hat and my book. Anyways,
This is gonna settle back down into her seat. Defeated and she'd eat her sandwich.
All right.
What's so interesting about the book? And after breakfast, we're ready to go, I suppose.
travel time.
Yep.
Montage, travel montage.
So we're going
Couple
to
things-
skip forward about 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
As
During that travel montage, we're getting along. I am very cold to you the entire time, though.
all right, and
Not mean, cold.
The entire time though, Nessa's like trying to like poke jokes, trying to like tell jokes and be like funny and stuff like that.
Every so
'Cause
often
it's like,
I
that's-
laugh. I do
That's how
snort at your joke.
Matthias. That's how Matthias, and that's how Slayer. That's how Nan passed the time during traveling. So she's trying the best to emulate the people that she knows. Kind of almost got their shit together.
I'm so proud of her for learning from her fellow adventurers.
I need to check something real quick. I know a rough time. I want to double check something. Yeah, after about 10 days of very awkward travel, you guys are exiting the city of Luskin at the foot of the Icewind Dale Mountains.
About halfway between Luskin and Neverwinter, I start putting on winter clothes. Actually, no, I don't need to. Never mind.
Yeah,
I forgot.
You don't need to.
No.
You don't have winter clothes.
About that point, Nessa starts to feel how cold it's getting, though.
Well, I was
And
about
she is trying to look tough.
Yep. So, and then for the time between... Then for another... Another 5 days... Halfway through this point is where Nessa starts to very much feel the cold. And you are traveling for another 2 days until you reach the settlement of Huddlestone.
At this point, Nessa is like icicles out her nose, right?
Yep.
Her lips are blue now. Her lips are like kind of a purplish tone, but she's still not giving it.
I am going, for your not wanting to get winter clothing, I am going to give you a point of exhaustion for the moment.
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
Whereas Celesta looks as warm as she was in that bar.
Wait, where do I add a other?
Perfectly comfortable, completely unbothered by the cold.
Edit. Hey. I can't give myself exhaustion on my character sheet.
Well, I will give you an exhaustion.
She also looks a little less tired now. Still
I
grumpy.
also am unable to give you a level of exhaustion. Why? Actually, let me try something real quick. There we go. I've given you a level of exhaustion.
I'm not seeing it on my character sheet, but I will believe you.
It's not showing up on the character sheet for whatever reason, but it should still be playing into the effects.
I hope I didn't accidentally just give myself exhaustion.
You're fine. Okay.
Yeah, no. While Nessa is freezing her metaphorical balls off,
Oh, she
Celesta,
introduced herself as Nessa, didn't she? Did she? I think she
Yeah,
just
as
said Agnes
Agnes.
Bonot.
as Agnes.
So,
Right. I'm calling you Agnes from now
She's gonna
on.
call me Agnes Bonot. She forgot to say it. You can call me. She forgot.
Yep. I've been calling the Every time I talk to you, I start my sentence with Agnes.
And it takes like a full 30 seconds for Nessa to remember, oh wait, that's my name.
Yep. And at this point, like where you're freezing your metaphorical balls off, I just kind of turn to you and go, Agnes, it's time for you to get winter clothes. We are stopping in Huddlestone, otherwise you will literally freeze to death.
I am. You're probably right.
What did you just say?
You're probably right. I was just trying to make it a shivering effect. You're probably right.
I'm usually right. But yes, we're going to stop in Huddlestone anyways because I need to pick up something I would like to purchase something I need.
Sounds good to me.
I just roll my eyes and we proceed the next 2 days to Huddlestone.
Now, typically for this, for each hour of traveling, you would need to make a Constitution saving throw. But because for day away, but because I've just granted her the level of exhaustion rather than possibly giving her just 6 in these 2 days. Oh. I don't know why that's maybe that was a false copy paste from another time. I don't remember. Anyway.
It was just given this, and I'm like, oh, cool, idioms.
Anyway, so you arrive into the small town of Hiddlestone, and there's not a whole lot here. It's a small settlement. It's got a handful of shops.
I imagine
all
you
of
don't
the
have
houses are built for dwarves.
It is built. It is definitely of dwarven construction. Built like a brick shit house.
None of the door frames are taller than 6 feet, and that's the tall ones.
Yep.
Oh, so Celeste fit perfectly here.
I would jab you in the ribs for that.
Do you wish to make an attack check?
She did not say it in character, so I will not be.
It was Daily who said it. It was not Nessa. It was Daily.
So you know, I'll bring you guys over to here. Let me drag some characters in. And you get to go down here and be hidden.
We're gonna stop in a shop that I know and buy her a bunch of winter clothes and like cleats for her boots and stuff.
Yes. So, to be able to get that, you're going to need to spend. For the cold winter clothing, you'll need to spend 10 gold.
Alright.
Do you have money?
I do have money, yes. The 10 gold, okay.
I'm quickly getting that into your equipment, so give me just a moment.
I would also like to mention that Celesta is basically playing dress-up doll with you the whole time.
The next thing would be crampons, which are essentially turns boots into cleats. If you would like those are 2 gold.
I am going to purchase a pair of those because I don't have anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's that melee. Texas character pulled up here.
Is it supposed to be showing his loot?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't have to necessarily equip it?
And that was 2 gold, you said?
2 gold. And then there are snowshoes, which are another 2 gold.
I'm also gonna get a pair of those because I lost mine.
Yeah, probably good.
I'm paying for it now, Helly. I imagine I already had it. I'm paying for it now because I didn't factor it into my.
That's fine.
I'm gonna have snowshoes as well. It's probably a good thing.
All right. So there is everybody's. There is the snow equipment here. This is our quick intermediary map for the city of Huddlestone. It's very just a different map. I have one for this area because
It's very wildernessy.
yes.
But
So-
Wilderness number 2.
All right. So after your playing doll with Nessa,
it was fun. I had fun.
Okay, describe to
determined-
me this clothing that Celesta has picked out for Nessa. I
So
want
the
to know.
clothes that I ended up picking out for you are it's like a vest, but it's like a long vest that buttons up in the front that is just like fur on the inside, and on the outside it's this nice red like cloth on the outside, and you like button up and it's like really like soft and fluffy. It has this huge collar, and then you also have a cloak over top of that buttons at the lapel. And then I got you a pair of fur-lined boots that are also red. Like, I decked you out all in red because red's your color.
also,
I also
don't
got you
It's
a
my
pair-
hair, isn't it?
I got you a pair of leather, nice leather gloves that are nice and warm and sturdy.
Also, Daly, don't forget that you have a cape of bellowing.
Do you have the capability, which I would have had to have taken off?
No, you
I
can
don't
put it
think
on
I-
over your cloak. You just can fasten it to your cloak. It's just another layer.
True. The capability can't bellow if it's under things, though.
I mean, you can have it on
Also,
top of
the
everything.
I never actually added the capability.
I just did.
But yeah, you
Just
can
the
clasp
cape
it
of
to
billowing?
The
yeah,
cloak of
from the
billowing.
last campaign.
Yep.
You can also
No,
clasp
with
it
it
to
was
the
part of our
shoulders
work.
of your... Like, I imagine you can clasp it to the shoulders of your outer cloak, too, so you don't have to worry about it being under anything.
Hey, Helly.
I also imagine you insist
Yes,
on
Al.
it.
How soon
It's
can I use
cool.
my item?
Your special item that we gave you,
Yeah.
you can use it whenever you want.
Nice.
You have it now.
I will. Yes. This will be fun.
All right. So
I do, however, Helly, put on my fur-lined coat simply so I don't look out of place.
that's
It's just a fur-lined coat. It's not overly hot for me, but it's not, like, needed.
it's a fashion accessory.
Yeah. And I have earmuffs that I put on underneath my hat that are like white fluffy earmuffs.
All right. So now, X, do you want to go straight into town, or do you want to make your detour?
This is after town, right? My
I
detour?
was expecting it to be on the way into town.
On the way into Hundlestone?
Well, no, it past Huddlestone into the first of the 10 towns.
Okay, so yeah. So if before 10 towns, then yeah, I'm gonna make the detour. Like, we'll come to a point in the path where I just stop dead in my tracks. And I say, and I just kind of look down, like I'm staring at the ground, and I'm like shivering a little bit, and then I take a deep breath and say, I have to make a detour.
Okay. Where we go?
It'll be easier to explain when we get there. And then I just kind of turn off the path and I follow a game trail for about just far enough back that you can't, like, there's a clearing just far enough from the road that you can't see the road or the road see into the clearing from there, but it's like a nice little secluded clearing. And in that clearing there were how many, Ellie?
If it's what I think you're talking about, there was
Yeah.
4,
Mine included?
including yours.
Okay. So we walk into this clearing, and it has a whole bunch of white, icy-looking flowers growing in the clearing, and there are four like posts driven into the ground at kind of evenly spaced from each other in the center of the clearing.
All right, I'm bringing everybody over. And I will say that at this clearing with these posts, you see a very tall furbolg tending to some of the flowers and bushes in the area.
I stop dead in my tracks when I see her.
And Nessa's gonna be like right behind, kind of stumbling to her
Also,
staff.
my
Solstice of her
golem
staff.
sensing my mood probably draws his sword.
Yep.
I mean, not Gollum, my little guy, Sebastian.
Your little boy.
Little guy.
My little guy.
Little guy. He's the little guy.
He is wearing fur stuff too. It's just all brown.
He's got some thick leather.
Oh yeah, it's thick.
You guys see her, this woman, it looks like she's patting bark into the base of this bush. And when you stop, she looks up at you. Because she's kneeling on the ground. She looks up. Hello? Can I help you?
I am glaring daggers at you for a moment, and then I kind of register what you're doing. My face softens, and I just take a deep breath. Would
we be this far away, or would we be closer? I'm sure in a far distance.
I imagine it's not a huge clearing, but yeah. I kind of wave Sebastian off.
You're about 25 feet away.
I wave Sebastian off, and he puts his sword down by his side, but he keeps it out because he's one of those.
Nessa's just gonna kind of raise her hand in an awkward little wave and be like, "Hi there."
And I just say, who are you?
My name is Thalia. Would you like your cards read? And when she asks this, you see her digging kind of under her cloak for a minute and pull out a deck of cards.
And never let me get tarot readings when we were at places that did them.
I shoot a angry look at Nessa, and then I stop and I go, "What are you doing here?"
The bushes. They need tending if they're gonna survive the winter. And some of these graves have toxic metals in them. They'll just continue to kill the plants.
Does it still say about your name here in the
You get the same kind of top-down, top to bottom stare of someone looking at a particularly interesting lizard. And Celesta kind of softens and just kind of takes a deep breath and says, "Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't trust you."
That's okay.
Do you know whose graves these are?
No, I'm sorry. I just, the forest is dying, and I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't keep dying.
Ellie, do I know anything about the forest dying?
Roll nature.
It's not my best, but that's a decent roll.
Would I need to roll something in order for me to jump to the wild conclusion that the forest is dying for the same reason that the sun's gonna go away?
Roll investigation.
Okay, I got a 23 because I rolled a 19 and I have a +4 to nature.
Okay, well, we'll see what Daoi's reaction investigation shows.
I got a 14.
All right, you're not quite piecing that one together yet.
Oh, come on. Well, conclusion. I didn't have any evidence. Or just be like, that because because the sun is dying.
I mean, you could say it. You just you're not.
I don't know.
You're not certain.
I just wanted to be a wild conclusion.
Yeah, you have nothing to back it up, but you can make the assumption.
You're 20% sure.
Nessa's gonna stand there. She's gonna like have one arm kind of folded over, her elbow resting on top of that arm, and her like hand on her chin. I'm thinking hard. I'm wondering if that's connected at all to the cult of Drow I'm after, who are trying to get rid of the sun.
Do you know how forests work? Or how plants and animals survive?
Plants need the sun, right?
Also, Helly, my role.
Yeah. With yours, you would definitely notice that since the winter has been coming in, started a few years ago, it has been progressively getting worse. And a lot more of the trees have withered since your last trip through here.
Would I know of anything, like, just from what I've heard from people about what believed causes are for that?
You would know that shortly before the ongoing snowstorm has occurred, there was an impact somewhere a meteor crash somewhere in the mountains.
Kind of think for a minute as Nessa says something about a cult, and I say, well, I'm not sure about that, but there was some sort of meteor impact not far from here right before the winter started getting harsher.
That may be part of it, but the trees are also not getting sun. It's not warm enough for them to produce leaves, and that's how they make their food, through the water under the soil and the sun, and they're slowly using up what little supplies they have while in hibernation. So at the very least, this winter is also killing them. I want to find a way to stop that. My home is dying.
I kind of like think for a moment, like stroking my chin a little bit, and then I look up at Nessa's gonna do
that thing, you know, like when you put fist in your other hand and you're like, well, that settles it. You want to join us on an adventure to save the trees?
Why did I get the feeling
that
you were
was
going to say that?
Less awkward in my head.
Thalia just kind of like gapes at her, like, what?
I mean, you need to save the forest, which is your home. My goal is to save the sun. Sun's obviously needed for the trees. Obviously, because the sun's not coming in because it's always winter, so we probably need to stop the winter, save the sun, save the forest. Good guys.
I pull my pen out from my lapel and start scratching the side of my head with the back of it, and just get this look on my head of just pain. Because I'm just like
the psychic damage.
I am a holy paladin of Dionysus, and I need to do good because I'm a knight.
Why does that make sense?
One of my favorite stories growing up. I really like the knights to save the princesses. I want to be a United States princess.
Sorry, there's a moth.
Oh. Like, what?
No, that was not in character. That was me, because I'm like vaguely terrified of moths.
That's fine. Completely unstoppable. That was amazing. Celeste
the mood.
Like Celeste scratches her head and just goes, well, the winter's probably has something to do with the meteor, and maybe that has something to do with the cult. Well, I mean, tangentially related, it did show up at the right time. At the very least, you could come with us into 10 towns and we could ask around.
You want me to talk to people?
Nessa has a puppy face on. She's practically begging at this point.
At this question, talk to people, her eyes are just wide, vaguely terrified.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to talk to people. I'm fairly decent at talking to people.
We have her for that.
Okay, sure.
After all, she's the boss. As I just look at you with an evil smile on my face.
At this point,
yes, I am the leader of this adventure crew.
At this point, Thalia, who has up to now just been kind of crouched down, almost half hidden behind this relatively small bush. It's probably no more than 3 or 4 feet tall.
I'd say it's probably about a 3-foot bush.
Yeah, it's like a winter rose bush, like a white rose bush. So
yeah,
it
so
can't be that tall.
Up to this point, she's almost hidden behind this thing, crouched down. She was working under the bush. She now stands up to join you, and you can get a proper look. Yeah.
How tall are you?
You can get a proper look of this massive antler set. That's the first thing you notice is these massive antlers on her shoulders, and they're 3 feet wide. They're massive. And then you notice her height, and she towers over all of you, standing at roughly 7'2" feet.
Nessa's only mildly disappointed that she still doesn't get to be the tallest.
Celesta is just looking at you and just says, I guess they don't have doors where you're from.
I just say something.
Well, I've lived on my own now for roughly 30 years. But I live in the forest. I live kind of just wherever, so.
This should be fun.
Are you still holding out your deck of cards?
Yes. Well, now it's kind of my hand is kind of down at my side, but I still have it out and holding. Did you want that reading?
Let's do that.
Nessa was about to respond with yes, and then she glances over at Celesta, and then back at Talia, and just kind of slumps her shoulders a little bit.
Goes to say something, then stops. Kind of gets partway through it, and then sees Nessa, and Nessa's practically bouncing up and down, and she's just sure, you can. I mean, you do whatever you want. Can I have some privacy?
Sure thing, and then Nessa's gonna go right on over here and be yes, I want to read it. And read it.
While they're doing the reading, I'm just going over to the graves and doing.
I guess we're probably gonna set off to the side then. I don't know.
How many cards?
As many? Oh, are you asking me or?
I'm asking her. How many cards would you like to pull?
A tarot reading's usually 3, isn't it? I don't know.
If you would
Never
like.
actually done one before.
So that is just happenstance.
Oh, they do. I didn't even notice that, Soul.
Technically, Agnes's doesn't.
but your
Her
nickname.
nickname does.
Okay. No, you don't need to keep clicking on that. You want to hit edit. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Sorry.
You're fine.
So what did you draw?
Well,
So
we're
how-
about. So you right click
How
edit,
many?
and then I believe she said 3.
3?
Anyway, is that how many you want pulled?
standard. Yeah. Yeah, like a standard tarot card or anything.
Okay.
Pass.
So
President Dietrich.
what does she pull?
Should I roll a dice? Is that what I'm doing?
Actually,
Nessa believes this is a tarot reading. Nessa does not know
So-
otherwise. So yes, we are pulling 3.
okay. So you pull. So we'll have you as a character pull, but we'll have Valk, or I'll actually roll the cards here. So
Yeah.
That's good.
on your first pull, you have pulled an Ace of Diamonds.
Okay. Now, you have pulled the Chancellor card. And, like, as soon as she starts speaking, you're like, you hear the confidence in her voice. And she's no longer looking at you, she's staring at the card.
Well, the card dissolves
Or
away.
Nessa's also,
Oh, yeah.
Nessa was also staring at the card until it dissolved.
This.
Wait, which card?
The Ace of Diamonds, the Chancellor.
No.
Wait, I finally don't have a sword next to my echo.
I figured out what it was and I removed it.
You have been blessed by a god, and within the next 8 hours, you are given the chance to have an omen pulled to you by your god. And this ability is free of charge. This card gives you, within the next 8 hours, the ability to cast Augury without any spell components. Use your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma spell check ability to cast this spell.
No, the thing is Nessa aware of that?
Right, so
That- That's pretty much what I just told you.
So what is...
A god has given you the chance to ask for
Omen.
an omen, and you have 8 hours to ask for this omen.
Because I'm just thinking of it from Nessa's point of view.
Yeah, you've been told that you have the ability to request an omen from your god within the next 8 hours.
Yep.
Well, the thing is Nessa still has that one-time use feat
Yep.
of Dionysus' blessing. So she's sitting there and like, wait, I thought there wasn't a time limit on that.
The next card pulled
She doesn't know it's augur, not divination.
The next card is the King of Diamonds, also known as the Day.
You are blessed again by the King of Diamonds. The day shines brightly on you. You will always have an extra boost to any activity you try to perform. This translates to, you gain a +1 bonus to saving throws. This benefit lasts until you finish a long rest.
Say that again, that last bit.
This
Lasts
benefit
until a long
lasts
rest.
A long rest.
No,
Okay.
what does it do? Sorry, I know how long. I just,
+1 bonus to saving throws. And the final card
I'm just creating a general notes thingy here.
I'm doing the same.
I have one as well.
So what was the first card was called? The Chancellor? Is that right?
The Chancellor. You have Chancellor, which is within 8 hours. You get to cast Augury.
All right, and you are now. And the final card pulled is the Ace of Spades, Isolation.
Okay. The second card was the Sun. Is that right?
The Day.
Day.
The Day. Okay.
And that's a +1 to saving.
And then that's a +1 to saving throws. Okay.
And daily.
1 to saving throws until next long rest, right?
Until you finish a long rest. And now, I'm going to take over for this one for just a moment here, Valk, if that's all right.
Yep.
In daily, as you pull your final card, you see the Ace of Spades, and as the card dissolves, you see yourself teleport into a dark room. Please roll me a d4.
Oh, God.
Alright. That is a 1.
Alright, you are trapped in this small, extra-dimensional space for 1 minute.
Damn. So I got the best roll. I could have gotten on that. Beautiful. Alright, so the Ace of Spades, you said?
Yep. That
I
was
haven't
your
heard
last
what the actual card is yet.
card. Isolation.
But I haven't. Oh, nice. Is there any point in writing this down because I'm stuck in this space for a minute anyway?
No.
You have one last
Okay,
roll.
go on right now.
Nope. You are. Well, that was card number 3. You also draw no more cards.
Well, she does have one last roll she has to make.
Well, yes. We will do that after a minute.
But I don't have to. This card's not going to come into play later.
Correct.
No, that was its only
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, that one is done. That one does not have a lasting effect.
So, Helly.
Yes.
Nessa just fucking disappears.
Yup. She draws a card. As the card dissolves into the air, she also seems to dissolve away.
Celesta. Okay, I'm gonna see if she notices this.
Roll perception? Granted, they're not really being stealthy about it.
Nah, I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, you are hard focused.
Yeah, I'm.
Nessa
Look,
Thanos snapped herself.
Thanos snapped herself.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Of course. The minute I take my eyes off of her, the instant I take my eyes off of her, she draws a card and disappears.
Yep.
We'll see if I notice she's even gone.
Does anyone even, like... This is not out of character, though. This is so not out of character. This is totally in character.
Thalia, are you going to do anything about your new friend disappearing?
Not at all.
Okay.
Complete faith in the cards.
Complete faith in the
How
cards.
are the cards? How are the cards?
Well, after a minute, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Helly, question.
I'm good at
Does
this.
Sebastian notice that Nessa is missing?
You know what? Let me roll for the boy.
Does he care?
Roll for the boy.
You know, he doesn't really care. He also rolled a 7.
Okay, he's too busy paying attention to me.
Yes.
Nessa disappears, not a problem for him.
He doesn't care. It's one less person to be a future problem.
Yes, one less person he may have to stab later.
That is 24 total.
Okay, congratulations. You have completed the check. As your body reappears from extra dimension, as you reappear in the space where you had left.
That's trippy. That was like the time I tripped on mushrooms and spoke to Dionysus.
Who gave you the mushrooms? Grandma. It was Grandma or Bella.
What was it? I thought it was Matthias.
It was Matthias.
I was pretty sure it was Matthias.
I forgot about that.
Bella had told you not to eat them.
I think you cooked them into something. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember. Anyways, completely unnoticed by me or my little guy. You're fine.
At this point, I actually kind of want to reach out and grab Talia's hands and be like, "That was so cool."
When you grab her hands, you kind of see her minutely flinch, like she's not used to being touched. I'm glad you enjoyed the opportunity. If you would like a reading again sometimes, I could do that. I would need rest before, but I can read again for you sometime.
Of course. Should we maybe check on Celesta? Oh wait, I just realized I never actually introduced myself. I don't even think Celesta introduced herself. Anyway, my name is Agnes. You can call me Nessa.
Thalia, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
And when she says that, like, she does like this awkward half bow, like no idea what she's doing.
almost hits Nessa with the antlers.
Yeah, almost. Like, she has multiple sets of antlers. Like, she has her
Nessa
own
just kind of like
that are growing out of her head, like right above her ears, and she has the ones that are just part of her cloak, and she just like almost hits you with that. She's like,
Nessa just kind of like takes a little step back, but it's out of the way. She's beaming. It's okay. Anyway, the grouchy one over there is Celesta.
Yeah, as you guys turn to look at Celesta, as you guys turn to look at Celesta, she is like literally on her hands and knees in front of one of the graves. And you can see little crystalline ice dripping from her face, from underneath her big hat.
With Sebastian having his sword drawn, just on guard.
Yeah, he's got his sword drawn and he's like looking left and right a lot, but he's not. He's just standing there.
What kind of check would it be to remember what Gorbok told me about Celesta? I've already forgotten.
It would be history, but I don't think he really told you much.
He told me a little bit, I thought.
He did tell you that she was an adventurer with a party that is no longer a party anymore. That she doesn't have a party anymore.
I imagine a 17 would have remembered me at least that, right?
Yeah. And it's been about a week and a half. But I'd say that would get you.
Alright. So I'm just trying to think if Nessa would come to the conclusion, like, we're looking at graves right here. Her party's no longer a party.
That's a you call.
I would think that Nessa's starting to have some suspicions about it, but she's not going to say anything out loud yet. But I am going to add in my notes.
I'm probably gonna cry for like a total of like 3-ish minutes before I compose myself, stand back up, and then just start walking towards the road.
Acting like nothing happened.
Yeah, acting like my eyes aren't all red and puffy from crying. And I just kind of stop at the edge of the clearing and say, "Are we going to 10 towns?"
Yeah. I would imagine. Yes.
Come, Sebastian. And
Make
we
things
just start
out of the way
heading
real
towards
quick.
10 Town.
Oh, you've already completed. Beautiful. Amazing.
All right. So it's another in these 3 or 4 hour trip from this site here into our first town of Bryn Strider. Or Strider. Do do do. And welcome to our massive map.
The biggin.
All right.
This here's the biggin. It's
I-
our biggest map by far.
Biggest map by volume.
By far.
Biggest neck by volume.
It's 90% map by volume. Oh, that's a big town, huh?
It is.
How far of a walk?
Shall we tell the audience why I'm existing? The fact that it's my fault?
Wait, tell them what?
The only reason it's this big is that I was complaining I couldn't walk through the streets because my icon was too big.
Well, I also then learned how to actually resize things working with other maps. So... Alright. So, into town here, you guys are passing by the stables. The town stables are here.
As we reach the stables, I'm gonna just start keeping an eye out for somebody. Helly, it's my contact.
Okay.
Just in case I see her. I'm not gonna go looking for her, but as we enter town and start heading towards an inn.
Yes. Which,
I imagine, like, is it late when we get here?
I'd say that it's probably later in the evening, probably 6, 7 in the afternoon.
That'll work. I'm just going to take them to whichever inn is my favorite inn to stay at in this town. Actually, no. Wait. Where do I usually stay in this town? Do I have like a little townhouse or something, or do I? Because I've spent a lot of time here.
There is the North Look Inn up towards the north center that I'm pinging.
I see it.
If you wish to go there, you pass through the main strip. You'll be passing the Black Iron Blades here.
Which is another inn?
That is a store. It is an...
Oh, the store.
More specifically, it is a combination shop and smithy.
Do I know the man that runs it?
You do. That is Garn the Hammer.
Garn with a G?
With a G. Garn.
Remind me the name of his shop?
It is the Black Iron Blades.
What's my what's the vibe check on Garn? Just like how would I Celeste to describe him as a person? Do you think?
How Celeste would describe him, I can't say.
How would you describe him, and then I'll write him down how I describe him.
Garn is just a scruffy dwarf who is typically very cheap in appearance.
But his blades are good, and his tools are?
Cheap manufactures the cheapest blades.
Used car salesman, got it.
This baby
Used cars.
This baby will hit anything you want. Hit anything you want.
I'm imagining like everything he owns is like really neat but super cheap, and you can tell.
Oh, if you look at it, you could bend it with your bare hands.
Good. Half of his swords are literally made of tin.
Yes. And then his sister Elza runs the shop, the common shop part of it.
How is she?
She's a bit more refined looking. Still a little bit on the cheaper of appearance, you know, with her brother and all
Modest
that.
rather than cheap. Modest rather than cheap, or is she also used car salesman vibes?
Slightly less used car salesman.
There's a lot of vibe checks going on here.
There are some vibe checks going on. Chat, can I get some vibe checks in chat?
I probably avoid that store when I can.
Yep, that's...
And is the what was it called? The North Overlook? The only tavern, the only inn in town?
The North Look is the only inn in town.
How's the vibe on that place? Is it cheap or is it decent?
That place is actually pretty good. Take a quick look just to read over the proper text here. You being a frequent in town would know that the inn's proprietor is an old sellsword named Scramsax. Often cuts a break for customers who are between jobs, because he knows what it's like. He's an old mercenary. He knows that times between missions can be a little rough.
Is he a little bit rough around the edges, kind of scruffy looking?
Oh yeah, he's retired. Definitely
I wrote down nerf further.
He's definitely got some scars on him. He's definitely giving you a little bit of Han Solo vibes.
Got it. He's got Nerfurter vibes. Locked and loaded. Okay, so as we enter the south side of town, I'm like, okay, we're going to the inn first. It's run by a pretty... He's alright. His name's Scrimsax. He's a bit rough around the edges, but you'll like him. Well, kind of looks at our new Furbolg friend. You might not like him. Looks at Nessa. You'll definitely like him. As I just lead them through town, I imagine we pass through the town square and there, like, everyone's packed up all their stalls and stuff. Like, it's really kind of quiet out because it's getting really fucking cold.
Yep.
Like, the sun went down, like, 5 minutes ago and everyone clears the streets because it's cold as fuck.
Yep. You hear a few people telling you when you get close to the Black Irons, telling you also to stay away from there, as most adventurers who fell were carrying a Black Iron blade with them.
We hear another group of adventurers arguing about going into the Black Iron, and one of the guys says that, and I just lean into Nessa and say, he's not wrong, you know.
I mean, I'm not really looking to place my blade anytime soon.
Good.
I'm trying to remember who made this blade for me in the first place. I was just thinking about it. It's like, I think this is literally just a militia issue blade.
You know, I like the idea that Sebastian has a Black Iron blade.
He does. That's why they break all the time. He keeps my dad skimped out on the equipment for his blade.
You can definitely tell that it looks like if you look at it the wrong way, it will bend.
Yeah. You can see the parts where they painted bronze on top of the tin.
Yep.
Yeah, we walked right past that place, and I give the lady at the desk an evil eye through the window.
Getting the evil eye and knowing who you are, she just gives you just flips you off as you walk past.
I nod, knowing that that's exactly how this relationship works.
I'm just gonna kind of like sheepishly wave with a little bit of an awkward expression and hurry along behind Celesta.
Don't interact with the rabble.
Hey,
She'll sell you something you don't need.
hey, I will say,
It's only polite though.
the dwarf woman who was just flipping off Celesta does give you a very happy wave in response. It gives a very happy wave to Nessa.
See, people are nice to you if you're nice to them first.
I was nice to her
Goblins
first.
are always rude.
It's not my fault she owes me money. As I walk,
that is a different story. Yeah, no, that is definitely a different story. Oh god, I hope I don't owe anyone money.
We just show
Wait,
up
Goblin Slayer, but Goblin Slayer doesn't count. Goblin Slayer basically owes me booze. So
he owes you a lot. And Gorbak is making him pay.
I did save his life. I did save his life more than once.
To be fair, he's also saved you.
Do we get any looks from the few people that are out? Because we are a bit of a motley crew.
I'm about to say,
it's like an adventurers town where no one gives a shit.
I mean, it's definitely an adventurers town because it's right on the edge, but Thalia definitely gets some cursory glances from a handful of dwarves in town.
Like, just curious.
Like, what the hell? Like,
when did deer learn to walk? On two legs.
Who let the elf deer in town?
Wait, are they saying anything?
Are people gonna call her an elf deer?
I did just say this.
That is fantastic.
Did he say it in common or did he say it in Dwarvish?
He said it in common.
I feel like that should be like
you get
I feel like that should be like a vaguely racist term that like people don't realize is actually racist.
I mean, you're not technically an elf or a deer, so yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you also need to remember that in 99% of lore, dwarves hate elves.
And anything fey. Anything fey.
And I am definitely well, no.
You're not, but
giants.
They're fey giants. So you're related to fey, but not to elves.
We are direct cousins. Furbolgs are cousins to the giant race.
Yes, but your appearance is definitely elf adjacent.
Yeah.
But also keep in mind, dwarves really hate giants too.
They hate anything taller than them, let's be honest.
Anything that's not... and they hate halflings and gnomes too.
They just hate everything.
They hate their life, they hate their neighbor.
An hour and a half. Can we take a quick 5?
Yeah, we'll get into the tavern real quick. We'll get the let this play out just for the night, and then we'll kick back. We'll take a quick 5 and head back into the morning of the next day. Sound good?
Cool. Thanks.
All right. The moment we get even close to the tavern,
in half an hour.
What was that?
The moment we even get
in half an hour, I have to go pick up my roommate, and then I can be back, but it's gonna take a while.
Okay. And we might just call this one a little bit of a shorter session then after a half an hour if we just want to play through that, if that's okay with you, Valk. Okay, we'll just go for half an hour and we'll call it a little bit early. Session 1, gotta get things back into the groove. Alright.
Anyway, the moment that Nessa even sees that they're approaching the tavern and there's a tavern sign, Nessa's gonna be at the front of the group going into the tavern.
Oh, you can smell the tavern before you get to it because they have a very, very strong stew.
It's not the stew that I'm looking for. Gotta have at least one drink in every town we go to.
Yep. As we enter the tavern, I assume Nessa beelines it for the bar, and I just walk right up to the lady that's manning the actual desk, and I'm like, "Can I get?" And I look at my friends, I'm like, "Do you have any rooms with 3 beds?"
Let me look here.
Kelly,
Kelly,
this is the perfect chance for there's only 1 bed left.
God. You know
I'm
what?
sorry, we only had 2 bedroom rooms.
Let me roll a dice. Let me roll some dice here real quick.
As Nessa goes up to the bar, takes the stool, and raises her hand, trying to get the attention of the barkeep, and asks, "Alright, what ale are you guys known for? Or what alcoholic beverage are you guys known for?
Hey,
What is your signature drink?"
Quickly looking at the last 2 answers. Looks like we only got 2 rooms left today, honey.
How many beds?
Beds, we've got 2 per room.
All right. And what do you charge for people who stay here a lot? As he probably recognizes me, and this is a conversation we have every single time.
As she says that, Thalia kind of raises her hand. I don't need a bed. I've never slept in one before.
I just kind of stop and full body turn to her and look at her and go, I didn't think of that. I'm
fine with the floor. I have my roll. It's quite comfortable. It'll be weird.
Might not fit in a bed. As I look at the tavern keeper, does the tavern keeper would either like nod or shake his head if she would fit in the bed?
The tavern keeper just look up and down that way and just feel like it's just like
It's very odd being the tall one. I was considered quite punty to my brother, and I'm quite
Good
short.
Lord, you're small?
You're considered short.
Yeah. My father was 8'9", and my mother was 8'5". I only reach a little over 7. So yeah, I'm quite short.
I'm going to share an incredulous look with the tavern keeper and say, we'll take the 2 rooms.
It'll be odd sleeping under a roof. I don't do that very often.
It keeps the snow off of you. And it's very warm.
Okay.
How much for the 2 rooms, Helly?
Okay. 2 rooms will be 20 silver.
Oh. Wow. So that's 2 gold.
Yes.
That's not bad at all. I tip him an extra. I tip him an extra gold because I know he does good, even though I do it very surreptitiously in a way that makes it look like I'm not tipping him.
You're doing it. You're putting on like you're doing it begrudgingly.
Yeah. I just like look in my purse and I realize I don't have any silvers in there, and I just hand him 3 gold. I'm like, this ought to cover it, I guess, and I just walk away towards the room. Well, I get the keys and stuff, and then I just kind of walk over to the bar where Nessa is. Come on, Talia. We'll get you something to drink and eat.
Thank you. Like, after the discussion of her height, she was just kind of like blushing, looking down at her feet. Like, you look at her, you're like extremely uncomfortable.
You're gonna have a real fun time sitting in any of these chairs.
Well, I mean, I imagine there's probably some Goliath barbarians somewhere in this tavern, so there's probably big chairs too. Not big beds, but big chairs.
Now again, did I get an answer?
You did not, because there was 2 conversations going on.
I did do a little bit of research of my own, though, and it looks like it might be Flamebeard inspiring me.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But it does say it's from Kelvin's Comfort, so I don't know if it's actually I don't think that's the name of this place.
That is not the name of this place. They have here Dwarf Head Stout.
Dwarf Head Stout?
Oh.
Alright, I'm ordering 3 of those. One for each of us.
That's going to be 9 silver.
Alright. Oh, that gets me off of 69 silver, though. Oh, well.
I can't help you on that one. You picked this.
Anyway, so as the others come, as the other come over, that's what he brings them over.
Yeah, we all sit down, and then he sets 3 drinks in front of us, and I look at the stout in front of me, look at Nessa, look at the barkeep, and just go, what is this?
That's just gonna give you a cheeky grin and say, this is a toast to our newfound adventure.
Look at you.
Hey, real quick, not to interrupt. Once you say what is this, the barkeep says 1 minute and walks and heads out back. All right, now you two may have your conversation.
It's the toast to hopefully new friendships and saving the world.
I am glaring.
Cheers!
I bump it against you, hand it to Sebastian, and say, "Drink this."
Sebastian just holds the tankard, not drinking it, and then after another second, you are brought a glass of a red drink that has frost emanating from the top of it. And the barkeep says, "This will be 2 gold."
Thank you, Sevald. And I hand him the 2 gold.
Congratulations, you have some frost wine.
Nessa's gonna try to hide her disappointment. She's gonna shrug. And she's gonna take a hearty swig at first out.
I swish the glass a little bit and like smell it, and then I take a nice little sip and I set it down and I go, "We'll figure it out." So.
Oh yeah, you have a stout in front of you.
Just kind of.
It's a drink.
Well, yeah, no,
you have not been told what it is.
She just kind of like awkwardly holds the stout and just kind of looks at it, blushes, and says nothing. Like, she is very aware she has no idea what's going on. And is very uncomfortable with this information.
This is down her tankard after taking her swig. She lets out a nice sigh. Now that warms the belly. Beautiful. Feeling lots of summer Talia. You should try it. It's not bad.
What is it?
Liquid courage.
I just kind of lean over, kind of like poking my head out from behind Nessa, and I say, "It's a dwarven stout. It's not bad.
It's not as good as my parents' brandy, but still pretty good."
Your parents make brandy?
Yeah, a group of Nopers. My parents run the winery there.
I do the math in my head and realize it's the same brandy I've been drinking for the last week at Gorebox.
Yeah, Gorebox buys my parents' brandy. He knows my parents personally.
By the barrel.
After being told what it is, Thalia slowly takes a drink and almost spits it back out. Alcohol feels weird to her, having never had it before.
Oh, we have a little bit of a light late. That's cute.
Is there...
I imagine Nessa said that out loud, too.
Yes, Nessa said that out loud.
Is there
I mean, she...
a juice or water? I enjoy it.
Nessa's gonna lift her hand to get the attention of the barkeep again. And she slides Talia's staff over her direction.
Nessa tries to get his attention. He completely ignores her, and then Celesta sets her glass down and like taps the counter, and he walks right over. I tip him well.
I've never been by a barkeep before.
Need another round?
Do you have some of the frostberry juice that you use for mixers?
You've got something in the back.
Would you be willing to mix it with a very, very light rosé?
Certainly.
Fantastic. And I toss him a gold coin.
He'll catch it out of the air and head into the back.
I'll get you something very light, darling. You won't even really feel it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. The frostberry is very sweet and kind of tart. I mean, you've probably had frostberries if you live here.
I have. They make good snacks when I can find them. I can't often find them, but
there are a number of adventurers who know where to look. They pay well for it in town. And then I kind of like blush a little bit as I realize that I've talked to you more than I've ever talked to Nessa. And I kind of go back to like my glass and like, anyways.
Nessa's not paying attention because she's taken another swig of the stout. And her cheeks are starting to get a little bit rosy.
As you go back to your book, you can hear a loud shuffle as a group of 3 dwarves heavily step in, with one speaking in a raspy voice, saying, "We need to go back and get our sled. We're paid for. I don't care if there's a Yeti still out there. We need to go get it."
A Yeti? How often do Yetis show up in like attack caravans and stuff, Helly? Is it like common or not common?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily rare, but it is uncommon.
I didn't know Yetis were real. Just in storybooks.
Oh, yes, you have to watch for them. They can be quite a nuisance if they think you're in their territory.
They usually don't come this close.
Like,
it's not very often that you hear about a caravan being attacked by some.
I've heard whispers that they've been moving south as the winter progresses.
Sounds like those fine dwarves need some help, so. What do you say, girls?
I just made that up, Helly. Is there any truth to that?
You know what? I'm gonna say that you don't have any exact proof, but you can make it. You can make the assumption.
Okay.
As the dwarven guy starts to pass us, I'm gonna turn in my chair and be like, "You said there was something to do with the Yeti."
One of them's going to turn to you, talking in a raspy voice. "Yes, we were set to go about and export the cart of iron to the Black Islands, but we were attacked by a Yeti. Well, lost one of our men. It was ripped apart as we ran for the hills."
insight check, not about anything other than the fact that it was iron they were transporting.
Okay, roll insight.
I just don't trust that they were actually transporting iron. I believe that they got attacked. That is an 11.
As far as you can tell, that they believe it was iron. They seem to be telling the truth.
I'm kind of like giving him that calculated stare I do, and I just go, well, a shipment of iron. And you said how far outside of town is this?
Oh wait, I just connected the dots as to why she's suspicious.
Up near Calvin's Crane. You'll need some snowshoes to make it a good trip, but if you can get it back for us, we'll pay in a gemstone worth 50 gold and the friendships of the dwarves of Icewind Dale.
Doesn't sound like a bad deal. And honestly, it is my duty to help people out. Even if your girls aren't coming along, I'm gonna go do it.
I didn't quite catch the name of that place. Sorry, Helly.
Calvin's Cairn.
Calvin's Cairn.
Yes.
That's not far from where the meteor impact was, right?
It's a ways away from the meteor impact. Meteor impact happened more northeast of that.
Okay, quite a ways.
Yeah.
Okay. But Yetis are coming towards close to Kelvin's Cairn. That's interesting. And we're in Bryn Shander, right?
Yep.
Bryn Shander, yep.
Kelvin's Cairn. Were you coming in through Cair Conan?
We were actually trying to cut our way through a shortcut through Sir Kong.
Yeah. Is it pronounced Sir Kong?
I couldn't tell you.
Caerkonid.
Yes. That's the town.
Caerkonid. So that is. So he said he fully said the same thing I did, just properly, and I go, yes. I pronounced it the Elvish way. He pronounced it the Dwarvish way. I'm sure he took some offense.
Also, this is a woman.
Oh, so did the look dwarves. It's hard to tell with dwarves.
Well, the dwarf also very raspy.
Yeah.
She's also missing. She's also
fingers.
missing 3 fingers.
Fair enough. And has a nice beard. It was hard to tell. I'm not gonna make the distinction. I kind of like nod and go. And you say you got how far down the east way did you get before they attacked you, or is it still up there by Sir Kong?
We've got about halfway between here, just kind of near the bottom of Kelvin's Klein.
I don't see that on my map.
Or Kelvin's Cairn.
Kelvin's Cairn is further away from us from Sir Konig, so they got halfway down that route to here.
Yeah, kind of in the Dwarven Valley.
Okay, so they didn't make it to the. Oh, they went through the Dwarven Valley?
Yes.
Oh, so they're like right on the mouth of the Dwarven Valley then.
Yeah, if you're looking at the interactive map, they're kind of at the E in Terma line, in that mouth of the Dwarven Valley.
Alright. I kind of think to myself for a minute and go, well, this would make some... We could investigate. Thank you for telling us. If we do find it, we'll bring it to, I assume, the Black Irons.
That's where it needs to go.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. and I'm just going to like nod to him and raise a glass and then sit and then turn back to the bar.
My out of character suspicion was correct. Nessa has no idea, but Daly knows. Daly knows.
This dwarf is going to just pat Celeste on the shoulder and continue making their way towards the bar.
I scowl as soon as.
Thought we were sitting at the bar.
But
Well, they're going to a different section of bar.
we're at like one end of the bar. They went to the other end of the bar. They're meeting up with a couple friends. It's fine. Well, that's interesting. Shipment of iron intercepted by Yetis. Probably not very pressing, because it's probably not going anywhere, especially with all storms lately. And I turned to Nessa and I'm like, so, about our quest. What's the plan, boss?
Well, I imagine we need to investigate the meteor strike? What did it say? Seems like a
I
good
don't
place to start.
really know exactly where that is, but I suppose we could ask someone. And I kind of wave down the bar keep again. This time I also do want to reload on my drink, because I've drank the whole thing.
Alright, as you start the wave, Talia's drink gets brought, and they ask what they can do for you.
I was wondering if you knew where the meteor strike happened. I've become a little bit fascinated by it lately. You know how I am.
No one knows the exact spot of a meteor strike. Way up northeast, and no real trails lead to it. And try walking out in that in your own, you'll be frostbitten in an afternoon.
Far northeast, and we'll be frostbitten before we get there. Well, that's not fun. At least we know about where it is, boss.
Gives us a general idea. Nessa's still not used to being called boss.
How
It's a weird sort of power trip on here.
would it be to find a meteor strike? I mean, if we head in that area, we probably will stumble upon it, I would think.
It likely left a crater. It could be a relatively large one. I wasn't here when it happened.
Although
Our other issue. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Dahlia.
there does bring the question, if there is a crater, if it's been filled in by the snow.
Oh yeah.
That would make it trickier to find.
Especially with how bad with the storms again, it could have drifted over and we wouldn't even be able to find it.
Unless
So,
unless one of you fell in, we would probably lose you at that point.
our best chance is to find someone who knows the exact location, though. We would need a guide.
Which we would probably find in the area.
It'd be close. The crater would have to be much closer to Lonelywood. So maybe someone there knows more about it, but that's another couple days travel northwards. We could.
The other thing is the cult I'm after. I mean, the most I know is what we managed to wrangle out of a guy before we arrested him. And he really wasn't giving us much information other than saying there would be more. And that they would be up in this direction. That's really all I know. So if we can search around and see if anyone, I don't know, has seen any suspicious drow?
Wait, drow?
That would probably...
Drow are not very
Drow,
common,
specifically.
So they would stand out.
They would definitely stand out, so... Especially if the drow are connected to whatever is worsening the winter here, which I still strongly suspect.
But this has been... The winter has been going on for years, and I would assume that it would take time to set up whatever they did, if they even are connected to this winter. Who knows how integrated they are or well hidden. At this point, it could be someone's neighbor.
The barkeep goes about and says, I don't know anything about any drow, but there's been some reports of some shady individuals over in Seer Kong. Not sure if they're drow or what.
I'm just making a list of our quest lines here. Okay, but you said they're shady individuals. Where again?
Seer Kong.
Seer Kong. Koenig.
I call it Care Kong.
Spell that for me again.
CAER-KONIG. Actually, let me quickly double check my notes here, because I do get those two cities backwards.
You said CAER, right?
CAER.
Yeah, Ser Koenig is the north one. Ser Dinaval is the southern one.
Okay, I did have my city correct. I couldn't remember if it was exactly Koenig or Dineville, but it was Koenig.
If we go to Ser Koenig, that's not far from Kelvin's Cairn. We could then retrace the route the dwarves took, possibly deal with some Yetis. I'm not sure how. Have I ever encountered a Yeti, Helly? As a level 6 adventurer in this area?
Let me roll a dice and see. With a 19, I'm gonna say.
You said there was. Just
okay.
to.
How
sorry, just confirm my
how dangerous Yetis would be for us?
I would say that with your knowing the power scale of a Yeti, a singular Yeti probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. If there's a group of them, which sometimes they do travel in groups, you would be in more trouble. And what was your question there, Daily?
It was just suspicious people. Is that right?
Yes. Almost seems like ghosts.
I flipped the bartender another gold because I did it well. Finish my drink and start eating. Well, we can't do anything more tonight. We might as well get some rest. And I kind of like look at the two of them, realize we have 2 rooms, think about who's going to stay in whose room, realize that Sebastian's probably going to be standing in my room. You two can have this room, and I just hand the key to Nessa. I have Sebastian, unfortunately.
When Ciel says that, Thalia looks at Nessa and then looks back at Estelle? Ciel?
Celesta.
Celesta. At least I was in the right range. I knew it was whatever. Vaguely terrified. Like absolutely terrified that you have left her with Nessa.
As I see that look on your face, I go, well,
I do snore, so I do apologize.
Maybe you snore? Well, I should have guessed that. I mean, if you're not okay with that, we could swap the rooms up a little bit and you could stay with
Guys, I think I have ghosts.
What?
Light keeps flickering. I just turned on the light over my desk and it keeps flickering.
Okay.
Or your bulb isn't screwed in properly.
Something like that. But I kind of look between the two of you. I'm like, if you're not okay with that, we could mix it up. I mean, do one of you want to sleep in my room? He doesn't really sleep, but I can keep him outside if you want.
I don't really mind anyway, so Thalia, whatever makes you more comfortable.
Sally just kind of looks down and like mumble. It's okay. She talks a lot.
I mean, now I'm sleeping.
Well, I know you're used to being on your
Actually,
own.
I don't know if I sleep
traveling
that.
with Nessa for a while, so I'll just have Nessa stay in the room with me. You can stay in the other room. Get some actual sleep.
Thank you.
Okay. And it's when we get back to the room that I realize there's only one bed.
Actually, Nessa wasn't actually going to come with you guys to the room as of yet. My plan was actually to ask around the bar a little bit more.
Yes, but the two of us have gone up to bed, and she's realized there is only one bed.
Yeah,
Because
I'm standing in the room,
one-bed
realizing
trope.
there's only one bed, and trying to think of a better way to solve this problem.
Also, just saying, I have a friend who works in hospitality, and she was telling me that trope happens a lot more often than you would think.
Yep.
And apparently a lot of business people who do like a lot of last-minute bookings.
Yep.
And
she was telling me
boxes.
it happens the same way the trope does very often.
So one thing for you, inside, as you're looking around trying to find more information, you do see a red knucklehead trout mounted to a wall with the plaque under it of Old Bitey.
Old Bitey. I'm gonna. Well, as I found, the only way to get the attention of the barkeep is to tip him. So.
Welcome to business.
Hey, it works. As a man who is working with barkeeps a lot, yeah, that works. Hold up a $5 bill, you'll get what you want.
I'm gonna. How much do I actually want to lose? I'm gonna slide him over 1 silver.
Hey.
Give him at least 3.
Is that doesn't get his attention?
It probably does. They're nice here.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I couldn't quite hear you because you were breaking up a little bit. So are you just trying to slide some money over towards him to get his attention?
Yeah, just sliding 1 silver over to try to get his attention.
He's gonna see the silver slide over. He's gonna pick it up. He's gonna walk over and like, what can I do for you?
Why don't you tell me about the history of this tavern? Maybe about Old Bitey over there?
Old Bitey was pushed up from the depths of Mere Dundrel before it was finally caught by the group led by a shady rogue called Kitrin and a druid named Maverick. They hauled it over here to try to get it cooked up, but Saxon bought it and had it stuffed instead.
Like his style.
And
okay,
then, some years later, go ahead.
I was gonna say, repeat the location that they found Old Bitey.
Mayor Doldrin.
Yeah, Mayor Doldrin. Maerdualdon.
I guess that would be Mayor Dualdon, which sounds more dwarvish, so I'm leaning towards that.
Dualdon.
By a druid named Maverick and a rogue named what?
Kitry. KitYre.
I'm notating everything. I'm keeping better notes this time. Nessa's getting organized.
I'm so proud. Some years later,
Spell it one more time for me.
Kindyre.
Okay,
In 3.
I'm caught up now.
Some years later, some wannabe prankster wizard casts a spell on old Bitey that makes a sing when you get up close to it.
Helly is the wizard who I think it is.
No.
Fair enough, though. That does sound like something he would do.
This was some young-ass wizard just being a menace.
Fucking around. That sounds about right.
He was then kicked out of the tavern.
I gotta go, but I do want to say that when Nessa enters the room, she sees there's one bed, and I have a bedroll rolled out on the floor, and I'm sleeping on it.
All right. Well, not to cut your investigation short here, Dave. I think this will be a good enough time as any for us to end. You can continue your investigation in the morning, as well as you will be getting a random Maruma tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I mean next week.
Next week on Dungeon Ball Z.
All right.
Next
Anyways,
week,
I gotta go. I'm gonna run.
Later, X. And
Yeah.
you want to thank everybody for
Dungeons
tuning
and
in
Dragons.
today. For that was an alarm. You heard correct. But we will see you guys all next week for more of Dragons, Defenders of the Sun. And I hope to see. We hope that you all enjoyed, and we will see you all next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
I bid you farewell, ladies and gentlemen, and gentle days.
Valk, you gonna say bye to the people?
I did say bye.
It did not come through.
Bye.
Later, everybody.